Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Swegman and I will be reviewing the super mod by DaBoss version 0.05 or 0.5, whichever you prefer. Now, I will be reviewing the pros and cons of this and what I like and don't like. I will be completely honest, and I will try to not mention too much about the recent drama that has been surrounding it. Mainly things such as source codes being supposedly stolen, or ideas being stolen as well, or just, plain copy and paste from other people's work. Stuff like that. Only fingers have been pointed, nothing has been proven, and if you want to look into it, I would not recommend it. It's a waste of time, and it's basically just a load of drama that, well, just is caused by major amounts of confusion. So let's get on with the show. So the one thing that I don't like about this mod is the menu. It is executed very poorly. It's not alphabetical. It's not according to numbers. There's no like one model switching, two style switching, and the text only appears for maybe a second or less, which should not be. It should be there for as long as someone's holding in a button, or after how long it takes to read it. For example, I cannot read this in a second. I can only guess what the words say and then in my brain put them together under a second. This, however, I can read fine. You have to make sure that the person can actually read what it says. And another thing I don't like about this menu is the fact that you cannot scroll. You can go back and forth, but there's no just going around in circles. For example, in the Machinima Maker, you could choose to just keep on going, scrolling the menu, and you will go back to the first thing. So, for example, if I begin with model switching and I go over to the last one, toggle lock on functionality, and then I go further, it would go back to the first point, and if I wanted to go further back, it would go to the last one, thus creating sort of a circle, if you will, which is very helpful because then I don't really have to guess how much or how long the menu is. And the whole number system would be helpful. One model switching, two style switching. This will let me know exactly what is after the thing I'm browsing, because this is just a major confusion. But the things I actually like about this mod are pretty much just more than I dislike. I mean, this is an early version, so don't get me wrong, it is a very good job, and regardless of recent drama, I feel as if this mod deserves a good rating, to be honest. When it comes to the actual functions, the author of it found some interesting points, and he did work hard on it. So, for example, if we want to switch models, we can easily do so. So, I can switch to whichever I want, even though some of them are not really fully functioning. For example, I'm not even walking right now. The character is doing that by himself. And it could be fixed. Nonetheless, I do enjoy it. So we can go to style switching. This is something that I don't like. For example, certain ones aren't fully loaded. So if we go through and scroll around, let's see. Like I said, not every single one is loaded fully, which should actually be. I mean, if you're making a fighting style switcher, you have to make sure that the animations are loaded and fully working. But I still like the feature of being able to switch animations and just play around with that. So kudos on the person who made this for letting us do this. Like I said, they're not fully working, to be honest. So let's go on further. So you can actually spawn weapons. You can actually make other people get weapons as well. So if we wanted to get someone to use the super spud gun, we could get him, and her, and basically everyone we want to just get a gun, which is very helpful. It is very helpful indeed, and it's fun to play around with, just watching someone patrol the area with a spud gun. Pardon my phone. So you can also spawn vehicles. This I would not recommend that you play around with, because this has crashed my game on a few occasions. So you can spawn a moped or a police motorcycle as well, which is something that's very fun to play around with. It's not fully working. This can also be improved, but I do enjoy it, and I think it's fun to just mess around with. So you can display coordinates. This is essentially just Mad's a chord grabber, just an improved version of it. So what we can do is toggle gravity on and off. So now the cops cannot bust us. And let's see, modified trouble meter. You can lower it and higher it as you like. So let's toggle gravity without getting knocked out. There's plenty of things to do with this, actually. It's fun to play around with, and I would not really call it a super mod. That's kind of confusing to the average user's eyes. You would assume that this gives you superpowers or something in the, you know, something like that. It's more like an in-game trainer, actually. Just sort of something that's fun to play around with, and you could make machinimas with it, but I would still recommend the Machinima Maker mod. I'm not really bragging here, I'm just saying that this is flexible. Don't get me wrong, it's very useful and it can be a lot of fun to play around with. But the fact remains that it's not very well executed. I should mention that this is not an arcade game script, so this is played in free roam. So I do believe that you can use this during actual missions, which could be fun. And I think that people will enjoy that a lot. So if we wanted to just get rid of someone, we could do this without needing to harm them. We can toggle the trouble points on and off. So if we wanted to make sure that we cannot really get into big trouble, we could punch someone and not get really a big wanted level. So let's take this guy out. Come on, you. Alright, there we go. Uppercut. There we go. Alright, so you can also recruit anyone as you wish, basically. So let's recruit her. Bethany Jones. That's the only character with a full name in the help bar I know of. Yeah, nonetheless. You can also dismiss allies, which is basic function, so you don't need to knock them out. This is something that I really enjoy. You can spawn characters as you like. You can punch them. Their AI is not fully working, so they will not really behave that well. They will basically just be drones standing there not doing anything at all. They will not attack you back if you punch them, but you can recruit them. If you do that, their AI will sort of begin, in a sense that they will follow you and protect you around. You can also arm these characters. You can arm anyone with anything, basically, or anything that exists within the game. So you can just aim at something, remove, remove, remove. This is something that I really enjoy, because it lets you just get rid of annoying characters. For example, if you're making a machinima and you just want to get rid of a bunch of preps or bullies just appearing in your shot, walk up to them, just aim, and down, they're gone, they're not there anymore, which is really fun, because I freaking hate when people just appear inside of my machinimas. I'm gonna start talking about machinimas, and I'm gonna talk about the actual super mod itself. I do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun to play around with. It's very creative, actually, regardless of what certain people have said. I think it's fun to play with, and I think that it has a lot of potential. It could turn into something more bigger and massive, and it could be a lot of fun to play around with. And I don't really mind the fact that drama has been surrounding it, because when it comes down to it, it's a good mod, and it's a nice beginning, because it's not really the full version. It's basically just, half of the full version, to be honest. If I could see more of this and see some fixes in the menu system, maybe more options, fix a few glitches, load the animations this time, I would give this a great rating. But for now, this deserves a 7 out of 10. A good mod. Very fun to play around with, it's creative, and I did enjoy using it. So thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed. Thanks for DaBoss for submitting this mod, and I will link his username and downloads page in the description below. Have a good day, everyone.